$3,000 within 30 days. How would you do it? I read a very interesting book today, by Jim F. Straw. Great businessman who in my opinion has really valuable advice, which is sadly undervalued. Only very few people know him, but I think he has a good fast lane mindset. Anyways, he came up with a brilliant solution to that question above. Let me quote the beginning of that book. So basically he was asked that question a few years back. The book itself was published 1993. The estimated purchasing power for $1,000 at that time was around $3,000. I guess with the internet there are a lot more ways today to solve this, than 25 years ago. But still this requires some thinking. I think I found a good way, which I will post in a few days here. Also, if anyone is interested in the way that Jim Straw came up with, I can also gladly post it here rephrased in my own words. So my question to you, how would you solve this challenge? Days 1-5, learn WordPress using free online guides. Days 5-10, 2 websites for $100 that you can use as portfolio pieces. Days 10-15, use portfolio pieces to do more. 2 websites for $250. Days 15-30. Use past 4 websites to do a website every 3 days for $500 total. $3,200. You can still apply for work as you build websites. Plenty of free templates to use and $200 extra to invest back into templates or just charge more. Free to email businesses, easy to see what businesses need websites. Use Skype to call. I'd keep doing what I'm doing. But if I was unemployed, and without a business, then here's what I'd do. I'd go to every single contractor's office in the city. I'd offer my physical labor for $15 an hour, under market value. Construction workers in Chicago average 10 hours a day. So 10 hours x $15 an hour x 30 days x 5 or 7 to 1 day looking for work equals $3,064. Problem solved. Gambling on some options, had some nice return on a GoPro call that expired today. But I guess that's too easy and risky. I'd probably do the same as Fox would do. Creating from scratch is the easiest, investing in stuff and selling comes with more risk. We all will have a different answer because we all have different experiences. In my experience, I know that I can make a post on Facebook or Craigslist and get a job in the mechanic business. That is a skill set I have and will work anywhere there are vehicles. I also already have the initial cost of tools covered as well. I can charge $300 to $500 to do brakes on a car. I can do 4 brake jobs from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's $1,200 to $2,000 in a day. Of course that's depending on clients. Most people are sketched out by indie meshes. Or want a hell of a discount. I know I'll be able to get ahead with what I know. Situation depending. This is the second time I've seen you refer to getting a construction job for decent employment money. Good advice. $3,000 in a month. Get a sales job with a fast sales cycle. $3,000 per month in 30 days. Problem solved. If or start making $3,000 a month in a month, they could probably both quit their jobs, work in sales full-time, and work on scaling. Is one of the realest young hustlers on this site. I know the guy makes racks on numerous sales-type situations. Couple thoughts about this situation. His employer went out of business. Sounds like there's going to be an inventory clearance, may be able to flip that quick on consignment. What about the customer lists, IP, etc.? Maybe it was just being run poorly and there's value there that could be turned around. Hustling's always an option. Craigslist, Uber, another job. I'd sell a service based on skills I had and what people would pay for. I'd start with people who I already know, focusing on people who have already bought from me in the past. I'd start by emailing them all, telling them some time has freed up in my calendar. Do you need any help with XYZ, and do you know anyone who else who needs XYZ and who might be a good fit? Follow up by phone or Skype too. Meet people for coffee if possible, especially if they can subcontract work to me from a portfolio of clients they already have. I prefer B2B personally, but beggars can't be choosers. Given the skill set I currently have is lead generation using AdWords paid search, I'd start by selling that service. In our Skype call I'd offer to do a free initial audit there and then. I'd look over their shoulder while they navigate their account. I'd show them where they are losing money, and how they could stem the bleed. I'd also show them how they could generate more leads, if I could see a way, of course. At the end of the call they're free to engage me to do the work I've identified, or they can do it themselves. I'd ask for referrals, people they know who are using AdWords that they think I could help. I'd ask them to introduce me, preferably by phone, or by email. Failing that, I'd maybe charge a few $100s for a deeper audit if the initial audit justified it. Or if they wanted to engage there and then, I'd suggest something like $1,000 for the first week of work, then $500 per week thereafter. If they're really small, then maybe I'd suggest something like $1,000 for the first of work, then $500 per thereafter. I wouldn't tie them into a contract, but I'd take payment in advance and ideally get them to complete a recurring payment, maybe PayPal. I do not want to spend time chasing weekly invoices. Longer term scale by word of mouth referrals, not cold traffic to some website. Start creating processes and building a team to implement them. Stop focusing on doing the work, and start focusing on getting the work. Start offering more services to current clients. Facebook advertising, landing page creation, video marketing. Really long-term build relationships with clients and enter into JVs with them. Use the team I've built, and knowledge gained in client verticals, to build lead gen businesses. Build brands I own instead of brands my clients own. Cold call selling mobile responsive websites, get 50% upfront, farm out the work to a qualified team that you'll round up. Dev, designer, copywriter, give or take. Set a quota for yourself, let's say 100 dials a day, and segment your list of businesses by revenue, hash of employees, preferred industry. Practice on the small fish, guys doing under $500,000 a year or something, folks who you think won't be able to pay. Once you've blasted past the nervousness and rejection, start working on the more ideal prospects. Just brainstorming. Bookmarking this thread in Evernote cuz it's awesome. I am not making $1,000 a month even now, so although I know a lot of methods by reading about it, I am not talking. Cheers for the shout out, man. That's the goal. 200 to 300 phone calls a day selling websites to businesses. I don't even need to close, just get a hot referral to the sales guys. Easy to farm. Currently, my struggle is finding qualified leads to increase the odds. I had a suggestion to find businesses who have recently been created or have registered domain names recently. Need to figure out how. So, average website sale is about $900. I receive 30%, so $270 per successful sale. Sometimes more, sometimes less. That means I only need to sell 11 websites. 11 relatively low price sales in 30 days. Who couldn't do that? Also, working on upsells which would be contracted out, SEO, some AdWords, social media, etc. But that's a longer cycle than 30 days. 1. List one of my 33 apps on Flipper or Fliptopia. 2. Email owners of other apps in the same niche saying I have an app with 100,000 installs. 3. Offer them a discount for being the first to act. Thanks for the exercise, but I have a feeling that would bring in a lot more than $3,000. I'm curious. Why do you say it's a longer cycle than 30 days? I've been able to sign up businesses on the spot once I have them on a Skype call to do a look over their shoulder audit and show them their bleeding neck. Sometimes they ask me at the end of the call to send an invoice, and pay it within 10 minutes, so I can stem the bleed ASAP. Or am I misunderstanding something? The reason being it would be an upsell on websites sold. I don't sell the websites, only the referrals. So the sales team has to close before I can add other options. My thinking is to follow up a month after the sale closes to ensure the website is running smoothly, increase relationship with the client and then offer add-ons. I suppose I could work in that while dialing clients, if I find ones who already have a website that I could then jump straight to the other items. Actually, that's a really good idea. Seems obvious now. I'll rewrite the script so that there is a fork between Need's website or his website and then flow from there. No need to waste a call looking for only one objective. Sorry if derailing the thread. Here's my thinking. Businesses don't need a website, they need sales. Most business want more leads, sales, revenue, and profit. A website is just a particular cog in the wheel. It may not even be needed for a business to generate more leads and sales. Google makes over $100 million a day from businesses spending money on AdWords. That's a pretty big cash flow for me to attach myself to. And businesses who are already putting their hand in their pocket to generate leads are pretty well qualified prospects for my services. Especially if they have a bleeding neck. Start mowing lawns. Absolutely, I am beginning to see the value in this. Thank you. My thinking was that the website would generate sales, but perhaps that is not always the case. If it's a local restaurant or niche shop, I think it absolutely would. But perhaps simple AdWords on its own would be enough for, say, a local tradie or a hair salon. Check out the local lead gen link in my signature. These types of posts don't make much sense to me because the answers are so specific to each person. It's not like you can read Andy's answer and go out and do the same thing. We all have different skill sets. I guess I would offer to mentor 2 people, and find one product each, that is non-AMZ seller competitive to sell on Amazon for $1,500 per person. Yeah, I think that's what comes out of these types of threads. It's easier if you have skills and experience. So go get some. I'd go on an entrepreneur forum, ask them the question, and then simply act on the answers I was capable of doing. Are you serious about doing this? I would happily pay that for mentorship from you. As part of my grinding phase to fund my e-commerce, I leverage my experience and connections as an expert in the competitive TKD world in 4 ways: 1. Hosting seminars for 30 to 50 athletes for $60 $100 a person. Usually it comes out to be between $2K 4K after expenses. 2. Teach private lessons on Sundays. 10 lessons a week is certainly within my ability to do so over a weekend. 3. I could work for the leading electronic scoring system company for 30+ days as a hardware engineer. 4. Teach strength and conditioning class over the course of the month for a flat rate. It certainly takes a lot of time and commitment, but certainly within reach. Sorry, that was just an example. Not interested in doing any paid mentorships. Yay, getting a job is well and all. I take it most here aren't complacent with it, or you wouldn't be here. Well, almost everyone. You know the thing with a job. You negotiate once on how much you sell yourself year after year. You get predictable checks, weekly or bi-weekly checks, and maybe, just maybe, ask for a raise 1 to 2 years. More? I'm going off topic. Let's keep this on point. $3,000 in 1 month. Or even if you want to go beyond that. If I was working, not doing a fast lane pursuit, I'd pick my city as the place to do it. Manhattan. I'd post 100 random job skills on Craigslist and work every single day 16+ hours, 7 days a week. I'd never eat out. I'd live cheap. Murray Hill in the Bronx. Flushing in Queens. East Brooklyn. I don't care. I'd walk dogs. 4 to 6 dogs an hour, $20 or dog, 7 days a week, I could make $3,000 plus. I'd buy some 2012 or better sedan and drive for Uber X, Lyft. I'd go for the most optimal hours till I can afford an Escalade, then get someone else to drive the sedan. I'd reinvest in gentrifying neighborhoods witnessing a budding demand on Airbnb, place them all there. No coffee, no fun, no food, only the essentials. I'd reinvest every penny I have strictly into cash-flowing assets. By 24 months I'd be a millionaire. For all you guys sweating it over writing other people's copy on Upwork, try the above instead. Real estate mentoring. Specifically wholesaling. I've done this several times and still continue to in order to make my self-employed living. I find someone interested in real estate investing and has little to no experience. My favorite are the ones that suffer from analysis paralysis. Because they have much of the knowledge, they just need someone to come in and reinforce it and help them pull the trigger in the right direction. I charge $2,500, $3,000 upfront so they have skin in the game, show they're committed, and also because I invest a bunch of time upfront. I help them get their basics set up like phones, email, marketing, organization, sales, script, etc. Show them where to spend marketing dollars. Then I help them learn the sales script by three-way calling potential homeowners interested in selling. I act as a partner, because I am. We 50 or 50 split the profit from the first property sale, which is usually $1,500, $6,000 at closing. They can continue to split deals with me and have my support, or they can go their own way because after the first sale they've already got contracts, seen the process, phones, marketing, email, everything they need. But some people like having a shoulder to lean on, and I happily make 50% of their deals and do all I can to help them succeed. To date I have a 100% success rate with my students. On average it takes them 48 days to get their first real estate check. Past profit splits my half. One of my students is in the pics cashing her first check. I find this interesting to think about. Generating $3,000 a month from virtually nothing is really hard the process, and it really isn't once you're making it. I sell a service that basically boils down to me selling myself every month, and I've been hitting the $3,000 mark or month easily. So if I were to come here, I'd say sell 24 hours of my time for $129 or hour, which is what I charge, and I'd have a little over $3,000 for the month. The problem is, the process has been forgotten. What about all those hours spent building a reputable business, hunting for more business, retaining repeat customers? It's much easier to say, if I sell X this many times this month, I'll make $3,000 a month, than really going through all the steps necessary to get there. I think a lot of people come up short because they are not prepared for the process or can't endure it. That said, some people pick things up easily, get lucky, or make a wise investment that winds up bringing some fast success. I think that's a lot rarer than what really goes on with someone going from nothing to something. And let's take it a step further, because the process I would like to learn now is how to make that $3,000 while no longer selling my time. This is when you're really winning. $3,000 in a month? I think anyone could panhandle that much in a month if they worked the right area, or had a decent spiel. But who would really consider that? Disregarding any prior skill sets, I think I would look into selling a tangible item that tugs on the heartstrings or emotions. Personally, I would connect with a wholesale florist and get ready for Mother's Day on May 8th. I would scope 2 or 3 locations, such as a vacant gas station or vacant corner lot in a high-traffic area with good visibility and access for cars to pull over and park. I'd set up a couple signs nearby Mother's Day flowers. And I'd sell everything 3x markup minimum. If one could find someone trustworthy, one could have several locations selling. With the profits from Mother's Day, I'd buy vegetable starter plants, or flower starts, and I'd head to a local farmer's market, swap meat or even back to the vacant gas station. When fruit and vegetables were in season, I'd sell those. Watermelons? Yep. Cantaloupes? Yes. Erie. Need tomato plants? $3 or $1, 2 containers. How many you want? Yes. It would take a few dollars to start it, but I'd either find someone to back me or sign over the title to my car and make it happen. I know something like this could be done because I had tried this one time by going to a watermelon farm, and I bought a trailer load full of watermelons and pulled it across the state to a large metropolitan area. I bought the melons for $1 each and sold them for $5. Split into 2 locations to sell them and hustled all 500 of them in less than a week. You just gotta want it. What was his answer? I would probably sell a training on one of my skills, could be either digital marketing, Amazon publishing, e-commerce, etc. Get a sales page going with my track records, portfolio and video testimonials of people I've helped and their results. Put a great call to action with a free PDF step-by-step guide as a lead magnet. Also, I'll add my private phone number, WhatsApp and Skype at the bottom of sales page in case anyone wants to call in. Add up over 500 CEO connections on LinkedIn. Export their emails to an Excel sheet. Do a BCC broadcast alerting them of my sales page and giving them an option to opt in for themselves into my autoresponder. Create an 8 days series emails for people that don't convert immediately. Reach out to everyone within my network, forums, blogs, etc. Sell the training for $250. Get 20 people to attend. Minus cost of their hall, tea break, feeding, etc. I should make above $3,000. I really enjoyed that quote. Just waiting on the book to arrive. 1. Create a Kickstarter. 2. I'm rich now by. Alright, I promised to post his solution, so this is what Jim Straw came up with. Basically, it's offering a clean out service, getting flyers printed and distributing them in your neighborhood, declaring that you would clean out any closets, basements, back porches, garages, storages, sheds, etc. for $20. The junk you clean out can be later resold at a good profit. Junk like scrap metals, clothing or shoes, appliances or TV or radios, furniture. Each of those categories has their own places to sell to, like scrap dealers, used clothing stores, etc. It's basically how this quote puts it: one's man's trash is another man's treasure. Personally, I would also add that it's possible to take out even more than just the junk. You could obviously make a deal with the homeowner that you would take unused, but valuable items and resell them nowadays on eBay. Then you could just split the revenue 50 or 50 or whatever with the homeowner. I myself came up with another solution, basically doing email reactivation campaigns for small businesses. Basically, you get one business to partner up with you and allowing you to send out an email campaign to their customer list the first time you do it. You could do it absolutely for free, just for having a testimonial. Depending on the size of the list a business have, and depending on how old the customers are, a few of those certainly could be reached. If the offer is good enough, they would also probably come and buy from that business. I've seen people do $10,000 with one email blast, so the money certainly wouldn't be a problem. After you have done your first reactivation campaign, you would just go to a second business and offer them to split the profits, like 50 or 50 or so. Obviously it's a win-win-win situation, no one loses anything in any case. So if you send out a few thousand mails per business and if the business gets its orders as a result from it, this could be a pretty fast way to gaining $3,000 or any other given amount depending on your copywriting skills, on the order, on the size of the list, etc. If you ask how you would track those orders, this is also pretty simple. When you craft your email campaign with the special offer, something like get 20% off in the next 30 days, you simply use a coupon. Everyone who uses that coupon would be assigned to your efforts. I would find someone who had a great product but no sales and I'd partner with them. Get them to pay me to use their resources and sell their product. I'd ask for commission plus a monthly fee. Also, I would do this by selling them on the dream of seeing their product in the hands of others sent from my Nexus 6P using TaperTalk. Please explain what email reactivation is. Sent from my Nexus 6P using TaperTalk. Dude, you're crazy. But in a sad way it's kinda true. Sent from my Nexus 6P using TaperTalk. Sure, when a business has an almost dead customer list of all their past customers, you can basically craft an offer exclusively for them. Hello past customer of Business name with a no-brainer offer we have never mailed you before, but for this special occasion we offer an exclusive 30% off deal if bought within 14 days by using coupon OFF30. Probably you would set up a landing page or something for one single product special deal bundle and send that in your emails. The email drives the traffic to this LP. Oh, and I think this strategy would work most effective with one single product deal, instead of just giving something generic like 30% off. While this certainly would work too.